Carrick gets a forearm smash in the back of his head, and then they score the first goal. So didn't decide to overturn that decision. So that was a big moment in the game. We didn't quite have the rhythm. We didn't click. We had some moments, but it wasn't quite there for large parts of the first half. And then second half, I thought the boys, the way they went around it and stayed positive and fought for everything and tried to get something out of the game after another shocking decision to send Leeds off. It's 2 games in a row we've had decisions like that go against us, but that one I have to say was one of the worst I've seen.
Have you sought an explanation from the referee? You clearly don't think it's a red card.
So you can elbow Lenny Oro for the first goal in the side of the head, leaning arm obviously, and then you can throw your arm in Leach's face, and then as he's off balance because of that, and he half grapple and he kind of half touches the back of his ear, which then pulls the bobble out, which then leads to look like I don't even know what it looks like. It's not a pull, it's not a tug, it's not aggressive. He touches it and he gets sent off, and worse of all, he was actually sent to overtime.
The atmosphere at Old Trafford turned from hopeful anticipation to outright frustration as Manchester United fell to a controversial defeat against Leeds United in a match that will be remembered less for footballing brilliance and more for officiating chaos. From the very first whistle, tension brewed across the pitch, with players from both sides engaging in physical duels that tested the limits of the referee's authority. Yet it quickly became apparent that consistency in decision-making would be a major issue throughout the game. Michael Carrick stood on the touchline, visibly animated, reacting to nearly every contentious call. His frustration was not just emotional, it was rooted in a growing sense that his team was being unfairly treated. The first major incident occurred midway through the opening half when a clear challenge inside the box appeared to bring down a United attacker. The crowd erupted, expecting a penalty, but the referee waved play on without hesitation. Replays suggested there was significant contact, enough to warrant at least a VAR review. However, to the disbelief of fans and players alike, no intervention came, leaving United feeling robbed of a crucial opportunity. Carrick's reaction was immediate. He turned toward the fourth official, arms raised, questioning how such a blatant incident could be ignored in a match of this magnitude. As the game progressed, the sense of injustice only deepened. Leeds began to grow into the match, capitalizing on United's distraction and emotional unrest. A series of soft fouls awarded to Leeds contrasted sharply with harsher challenges on United players going unpunished. This inconsistency became a central talking point both on and off the pitch. United players attempted to maintain focus, but frustration crept into their game. Passes became rushed, tackles mistimed, and composure began to slip away. Leeds seized their moment, pressing high and forcing errors that ultimately led to their opening goal, a strike that stunned Old Trafford into silence. Even that goal was not without controversy, as United players argued for a foul in the build-up. Once again, their appeals were dismissed. Carrick's anger intensified. Cameras caught him shaking his head repeatedly, clearly dissatisfied with the officiating standards on display. The second half began with United pushing for an equalizer, showing urgency and determination despite the setbacks they had endured. However, another contentious moment halted their momentum. A promising attack was stopped for an offside decision that appeared marginal at best. Fans inside the stadium reacted with disbelief, many taking to social media to express outrage over what they perceived as biased officiating. Carrick, known for his calm demeanor, was anything but composed on this occasion. His gestures became more animated, his protests more vocal. The players mirrored their manager's frustration. Communication with the referee grew increasingly heated, with several United stars visibly exasperated. Leeds, meanwhile, maintained their composure, using the disruptions to their advantage and controlling the tempo of the game. A second goal from Leeds further compounded United's misery, effectively putting the game out of reach and igniting even more controversy. Questions arose about a possible handball in the build-up, but once again, no review was conducted, leaving United stunned. Carrick's post-match comments would later reflect the depth of his frustration, describing the decisions as shocking and unacceptable at the highest level. He emphasized that while mistakes are part of football, the lack of accountability and consistency is what truly damages the integrity of the game. United fans echoed these sentiments, calling for greater transparency in refereeing decisions and more effective use of technology. The debate surrounding VR resurfaced, with many questioning its purpose if clear errors continue to go uncorrected. Carrick refused to blame his players entirely, acknowledging that the officiating had a significant impact on the outcome of the match. He pointed out that momentum is crucial in football, and controversial decisions can shift the balance dramatically. Despite the defeat, Carrick praised his team's effort, noting that they continued to fight even when circumstances were against them. The dressing room, however, was reportedly filled with frustration, as players struggled to process what had transpired. Veteran players attempted to rally the squad, urging them to focus on future matches rather than dwell on the injustice. Still, the sense of being wronged lingered, casting a shadow over what could have been a competitive and entertaining contest. Leeds, on the other hand, celebrated a significant victory, though even their supporters acknowledged the controversy surrounding it. Pundits across various platforms dissected the match, with many agreeing that key decisions had gone against United. Some analysts argued that referees are under immense pressure, but others insisted that such errors are unacceptable in modern football. Carrick called for improvements in officiating standards, stressing that players and managers deserve fairness and consistency. He also hinted at the possibility of formal complaints, though he remained focused on preparing his team for upcoming challenges. The defeat raised questions about United's ability to cope with adversity, particularly when external factors come into play. Carrick acknowledged this, stating that mental resilience is just as important as tactical discipline in such situations. Training sessions following the match reportedly focused not only on technical aspects but also on maintaining composure under pressure. United supporters remained loyal, rallying behind the team and expressing confidence in Carrick's leadership. The controversy also sparked broader discussions about the state of refereeing in the league, with calls for reform gaining momentum. Former players weighed in, sharing their own experiences and highlighting the need for better communication between officials and teams. Carrick emphasized that respect for referees is essential, but it must be accompanied by accountability. He urged governing bodies to review the match and address the concerns raised by players, coaches, and fans alike. The incident may serve as a turning point, prompting changes that could improve the quality of officiating in future matches. For United, the focus now shifts to recovery and preparation, as they aim to bounce back from a disappointing result. Carrick's leadership will be crucial in guiding the team through this challenging period. He remains determined to ensure that his players learn from the experience and emerge stronger. The controversy, while frustrating, could serve as a catalyst for growth and unity within the squad. Fans will be watching closely, hoping for a response that reflects the club's resilience and ambition. The next match presents an opportunity for redemption, both in terms of performance and result. Carrick has already begun analyzing the game, identifying areas for improvement and addressing the issues that arose. His attention to detail and commitment to excellence will be key in restoring confidence within the team. Despite the anger and frustration, Carrick remains focused on the bigger picture, understanding that the season is far from over. He believes that consistency in performance will ultimately outweigh the impact of individual decisions. The players share this belief, determined to prove their quality and overcome any obstacles in their path. Supporters continue to stand by the team, providing encouragement and unwavering loyalty. The controversy may linger, but it will not define United's season. Carrick's message is clear: learn, improve, and move forward. As the dust settles, the hope is that lessons will be learned, not just by the team, but by the officials as well. Football thrives on fairness, and ensuring that principle is upheld is essential for the sport's integrity. United's defeat may have been marred by controversy, but it also highlighted the passion and intensity that make the game so compelling. Carrick's reaction underscores the importance of accountability and the need for continuous improvement. The journey continues, with United determined to turn frustration into motivation. And as they look ahead, one thing is certain: this shocking decision will not be forgotten anytime soon.